Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we mail it in for Memorial Day. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Lenny Eckstein and Evan Van Scoik.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Yo.
Yes, hopefully everyone's out there celebrating Memorial Day. You're supposed to do that today. You are supposed to remember those that allow us to do kind of the things that we do. That have given us this great country with its freedoms that we have. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But we should be happy that for the freedoms that we have. And the people that have granted us that have given their lives, put their lives at risk. And I think we need to pay attention and remember that. But at the same time, it's not just solemn. It is also about having some fun. We're going to have some fun today as we celebrate Memorial Day here in the United States. But before we get to that, did you have something to say, McNew?
I was going to say, it feels like the official kickoff to summer, even though
it does. It's the unofficial official, I would say. To me, summer runs Memorial Day to Labor Day. I know that's not how it lines up with science and all that bullshit, but to me, that's summertime. That's summertime for sure. So, yep, I agree with you. So, but before we get to our discussion of the day, which is really nothing because we're mailing it in, McNew said there's a question she had to get things kicked off today. What is that?
Yeah, so it is the kind of like the kickoff to summer, which we'll have like summer blockbuster movies, but I don't want to talk about those movies. I want to know, what do you think, in your own opinion, is an underrated movie? Like, it is so good. It did not get like enough attention, either from critics or the audience alike. It's just so good if you sat down and watched it and paid attention, but it just didn't get enough love when it came out. What movie is that for you guys?
What movie? Okay. That's a good question, and one that there's certainly a million answers to.
There's 100,000 answers, and
when you're put on the spot, it gets a little bit tougher to come up with something.
Can I just throw out a silly one?
Okay.
Not like serious art, like it was so good, but like I love watching it over and over again because I just enjoy it. The Internship with Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, where they get the Google internship. Yeah, it's silly, it's funny. It's not going to be for everyone, but I work in IT and I get a lot of the stuff that's going on.
Like, that's kind of what I had in mind, though, Evan, because like mine is Spanglish, right? Like it's an Adam Sandler movie, but it's not really funny. It's kind of sad, and like Salma Hayek's in it. She's freaking beautiful, no matter what she does. That movie got zero love, and it just happened to be on HBO a couple weekends ago, and I like to have stuff in the background while I'm working on other stuff. And I was like, this movie is so good. I got sucked in. And I'm like, this movie is so good, and nobody talks about it. Nobody loved it. It didn't get awards. I'm like, Spanglish is so good. And I was crying, and it was a whole thing. And I'm like, but there's so many other movies out there that just did not get like the attention they needed, because maybe it made you feel something. Maybe it was just funny, like a niche thing because you're in IT. Like, yeah, those movies are the ones I want to know.
I will throw one out as well. As everyone knows, I'm a Quentin Tarantino movie fan. He really makes the best movies, in my mind, of any filmmaker out there. And I would say that his movie, Jackie Brown, is underrated. If most people, when they watch it, I would think they would say it's boring because of the pace, but it's dialogue driven and it's just different. It's a different experience than most American filmmakers are used to going to. Film watchers are used to seeing. And I think they struggle with that. They want the excitement. They want things blown up, or they want, this big epic, like superhero movies or what. And it's a totally different experience watching something that is based on conversations that are interesting, watchable. And I don't know, if you go with the right frame of mind, I think it's a fantastic movie. And I like that one. And that's underrated within his filmography for sure.
I'm going to agree with you because I didn't like it the first time I watched it. But after I watched things of his I did like, I went back to it.
Yeah.
So you have to know how he does things and then why they make sense. I didn't like Kill Bill either at first. But after I liked the things I did like I like Django, I like some other things.
Yeah, I like all those movies.
I like Hollywood. And I was like, after I liked some things of his, I went back and I kind of got the artistry of it.
Mm-hmm.
So revisit them if you did.
Revisit them. Yeah, for sure.
Those are fair to revisit for sure.
All right. Lenny, what do you got?
I mean, I'm still like jaw on the floor that McNew didn't like Kill Bill the first time.
Yeah.
I
loved it.
it also could have been the person I watched it. That might have had a lot to do with it.
Remember when it came out, it was a two-parter. And if you're really into Tarantino movies, it wasn't like, hey, just watch it on streaming and then watch the second one. No, you had to wait until the next one came out. Right. I mean, it was a different experience for sure. It was wild.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yes, that one, I don't feel like Kill Bill was underrated though. I think everybody loved that except McNew.
Yeah.
So I got two. One is like different genres. One sci-fi, one's comedy. This one I think was widely accepted as like, whoa, how did nobody see that coming? Now, granted, Tom Cruise was in it, which a little divisive, but it was called Edge of Tomorrow. And then I think they actually renamed it to something else.
Live, Die, Repeat. Yeah.
Yes. And
it's basically Groundhog Day.
Yeah, but with more explosions, which but it was pretty fucking cool, and it was a neat concept. And I remember watching it and thinking, like, what? How is this like? Like, nobody cared. Nobody said a word about this. I enjoyed the shit out of it. I don't know that won any awards. I'm pretty sure it didn't, but cool movie. Another one. I don't know if you guys remember this. I'm a big Norm Macdonald fan. Dirty Work.
Oh yeah,
Artie Lang.
With Artie Lang, yeah, that's.
I mean, again, not winning any awards. But fuck, that was a great movie. Weird.
So I was waiting for Lenny when he said one was comedy and Tom Cruise was in it. I was waiting for Tropic Thunder.
Oh, that was great. But everyone loved that.
They did. That one got a lot of attention. But now I'm like, if I showed it to somebody who's never seen it before, they'd be like, what the fuck? Why can they say that? Like, they just can't. Yeah. It was just so funny.
That's a movie that
Tom Cruise fucking
movie. Didn't age well for sure.
Did not age well. Yeah, it's definitely not a movie you could make today. So it's a weird thing that at the time.
I don't even think it's that old.
It's not
right. It's not that old, but again, sometimes things age.
That's what I was waiting to hear. I was like Tropic Thunder. I was like, that was hilarious.
Right. That was a great flick.
I think about a lot of the movies that like were set up to be series, but the first movie wasn't like great enough. Like what comes to mind, I got a couple like Warcraft. So they were going to do like the whole series, but they spent so much money, just didn't make enough back. World of Warcraft is like one of the most popular video games of all time. There's great content and material there. They started with the original story, the very first game, which is not the most popular story.
Like the effects and stuff, like just the cost to make it was insane.
Right. Pretty good, but it might be getting a sequel, I just heard. But it's been on like ice for a while. Alita Battle Angel. Pretty decent movie.
I don't even know what we're talking about here.
We've lost our
focus.
Flicks.
We've lost our
pretty good.
We've lost our mojo. We've officially hit rock bottom.
So here's my one from last year. Bullet Train.
Oh, that was great. Good call. But didn't everyone love that?
I don't know. I didn't hear it.
I never even heard of it. So
I thought it was great.
So like after the pandemic, we got into the habit where like if we couldn't stream it, we're not watching it. Cause like I had no need to ever go back to a theater. And I freaking loved when they're like, we're releasing it. You can pay $25 and watch it at home. That was my favorite part of the pandemic, watching it at home. Cause I don't want to go to a theater. I really don't. It's dirty. It's gross. I'm going to spend $50 on freaking popcorn and drinks. I don't want to do it.
I don't even like going to the theater anymore with the new big relaxed chairs and waiter service. And you're just trying to watch a goddamn movie. Here comes somebody. You want a drink?
I do like it now.
The theater, I want to buy it at home. You can charge me double. I am happy about it. Let me stay
because
home.
you don't have a kid. So like I felt the same way. And then once I had a kid, I was like, can I please go to the movie theater by myself? Where I can sit there with a drink, a beer, a glass of wine. Put my
terrible.
Talking to me about video.
There's something about the full IMAX experience. Like I have a 70-inch TV at home. It's great. It's fantastic. But there's something about just being immersed in something for like 2 hours.
Do you have a sound bar? Buy a goddamn sound bar. We have one. It's
Buy
like
a sound bar. You'll be fine.
It's just not the same. There's
be
always things going on.
Add
Like,
a laugh
you're sitting at
track and
home.
so you can hear people.
McNew, have you ever tried to watch World of Warcraft with a sound bar?
Yeah.
I'm sure my husband has. Like, so like he turns this thing up so far, like I can hear it upstairs. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like I should not be able to hear this on a second story, but I can.
On that note, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? I'm going to start this out with Copper Dome. Copper Dome. Brought to you by Demetrius Kane. Nothing there, really.
I wouldn't say nothing. I'd say that was
Barely a
pretty-
pop. Barely a pop. Embarrassing for me. For Lenny, that would be award-winning, but for me, that's embarrassing. What do you got, McNew?
I don't think it'll do much. The cork is beautiful, but they suck after the first time. I have some Hard Truth Kentucky Sweet Mash, but look how pretty that is. It's not going to do
Nice.
nothing.
Nothing. I still have the lead with what I threw out there. All right, Lenny, can you beat what I?
For sure. I've got some Bear Creek, Denver-based distillery, cast strength rum.
Okay, that is enough to take the lead. Evan, your last but not least. That wasn't Lenny's best cork pop, but it is clearly the lead here. Can you beat that?
I believe in diversifying the amount of liquid in the bottle as you go through the night. So I've got a well-loved bottle of Old Monroe here. This is a fantastic pick called Creme Brulee.
Okay. That is a good one. Okay. Well, it was a lot of work for not a lot of payoff. It means Lenny wins 3 tonight. 3. Congratulations, Lenny.
Cheers.
I really think like the trophy for Colorado people and cork pops tonight too. Nobody in Colorado gets their shit together. Go Lenny.
I want my cork pop champion T-shirt.
Okay. All right. You order that. You have to. Yeah.
Only
You got
for
to order
Colorado though. You don't get it for everybody, but
Fair enough.
No. All right. Well, what we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're mailing in for Memorial Day. We'll just be chatting. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
This is Mr. Bill. You're listening to the Bourbon Daily. I don't drink to that.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we are mailing it in for Memorial Day.
Yes, we are. So Memorial Day for Lenny. Let's start with Lenny. It's got to be a sad day for you because you're vegan. You know, you're not out there, queuing or anything like that. So what's the day like for you? I mean, everybody in America is out there. It's a holiday based around grilling and hanging out with family and friends. And you don't like hanging out with your family nor your friends. You don't grill because you're just like
fish.
Yeah.
You know what? Memorial Day, while it's about grilling for everyone else, in Buena Vista, Colorado, it's about Paddle Fest, which is a long-standing tradition, and it's kind of like as
Paddle Fest. Is that a sexual fetish group that you're part of?
In St. Louis, it might be, but in Colorado, it's about getting to the river, and it's about mostly kayaking, whitewater rafting, SUPPing, which is the dumbest acronym for those who don't know. It stands for stand-up paddleboarding, which we also do on the river. It's basically like celebrating the fact that we have one of the most badass rivers running right through our town, and people come from all over the country to hang out and get on the river, and then listen to some live music. Usually end up at Deer Hammer. It's one of our busiest weekends of the year. So that's kind of it. It also marks the end of my busy season of getting everything ready for the taste room for the summer. So I get to kind of kick back and, usually do a few floats down the river and have a few drinks.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Evan, what about you? You get out there, you run the pit, or what do you do?
I mean, basically we just usually try to find some body of water somewhere, a pool, a lake, a river, do something. Probably not a little bit larger than a puddle. But some type of beach day, pool day, floating. It's still a little cold for floating yet. The rivers aren't quite warm enough, but that's usually what we try to do. Get a little sun, you've spent the whole winter basically indoors, and it's a good time to get outside and enjoy yourself.
Floating would be a St. Louis thing. People don't call it float trips unless you're from St. Louis. It's a weird thing to me. It should be called a float trip, but
do they go tubing?
Tubing or cabrewing here.
Or cabrewing or canoeing is even fine. Which I'm like, well, not that many people use fucking canoes. Why do you call it canoeing? Just call it floating, and anything works. You can have a canoe, you can have a tube, you can have whatever the hell you want.
Well, floating works also. So yeah.
People correct me. They don't like that. We like that in St. Louis.
We out here, like where we have, like a lot of whitewater and big rivers. A float trip is like when rapids aren't typically excessive. So like class 2 and lower is a float trip.
Right. Well, that would be what we have in St. Louis. We're not whitewater rafting in the greater St. Louis area. So yeah, you are just taking an easy, ride down the river, probably.
Mainly dodging fallen trees and rocks.
Yes, yeah. Getting up and carrying the canoe from time to time if you're actually in a canoe, because it's too low.
We have a white river here, and I wouldn't even classify it as a river compared to what you guys have. Like it's just like a little offshoot. But it goes for a while, and it flows. And so like you just get on a raft or a canoe or like a kayak and you just kind of like hang out and drink for the day. And that's fun. You're right to a sandbar or a tree or something, and you gotta like move your shit around, and you know you can get out. You're not going to drown if you get out of it. So,
All right.
In the whitewater world, a tree is referred to as a strainer, and you could die.
You could die. Okay.
It's more dangerous there for sure.
Yeah. McNew, you're the queen of holidays. What do you do with Memorial Day? Anything?
So I like Memorial Day usually because I get a paid day off. Like every company I've ever worked for, we don't work that Monday. My husband does work though because he gets triple time for holidays. So he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to work." I'm like, "Okay, fine." So we really don't do anything here. I will usually like decorate the house for summer, get the yard ready. If my brother is having a cookout, we'll go. If a friend or neighbor is having a cookout, we'll go. We don't really do anything here. It's just kind of like if we're invited, we'll be there. If not, like I'll just hang out and have a day off. It's never like
not a big deal. Do you get into any of what I would call the summer holidays of Memorial Day? It sounds like nothing really big happening. 4th of July or Labor Day.
So I like decorating. Decorating's my thing. So I will do, and my mom always did it too. So for Memorial Day to 4th of July is like all red, white, and blue decorations. So I'll get all that shit out and just like kind of like deck out the outside and the inside. And yeah, I'll do like all my red, white, and blue patriotic shit from Memorial Day to 4th of July. Then I take it down.
I feel like you were born to be like the curator of pop-up bars.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want her to come to St. Louis so she could just run that for me.
I feel like I could. I feel like, so I would be really, really good at this, but I don't know how to like make it a thing. Maybe Steve will help me. I'm going to do his Halloween bar for sure. If he wants a 4th of July one, maybe we can start earlier. So.
Okay.
Deer Hammer's doing a tiki pop-up on June 1st. You should fly out and help decorate because I have a feeling our decoration is going to be subpar compared to the produced.
We're doing we want to do a pop-up tiki bar too at some point. So that's on our list of ones we're going to do. We tied it into something. There's like National Tiki Cocktail Holiday. I think we've got it on the calendar already. Yeah, so that's cool. But yeah. Okay, it's got to be a thing, right? Everything has a holiday on the.
No, like Lenny, that's like a whole new thing I didn't even think of. Like I could just curate freaking pop-up bars all year round. Because I only thought about them at Christmas, and of course I want to do Halloween.
Everyone, the Christmas bar is definitely a thing, and those are all over. But nobody really does other holidays, and it seems like the concept works so well at Christmas to apply it to the other holidays as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second Saturday in August is
the Tiki one?
International Tiki Day.
Yeah, that's when we have down for that. And that may be the first one that we do because we're not going to be open with our speakeasy until July. Probably we're shooting for July 9th, which is our 1-year anniversary. So, yeah, Tiki one might be a good first run at one of these. Well, that's our plans. As far as me and the holiday, barbecue. Yeah, so I'll be out there. I'll be in my element. I will be running that. Mom will come over. My daughter will be coming over, and then I got my nephew who lives in town now too. So.
What? Or are you being told to just do hamburgers and hot dogs again?
I'll get stuck doing. I don't know. I hopefully they just turn me loose and let me choose, and then I'll make something good. As opposed to, for Mother's Day I got assigned hamburgers, hot dogs, and bratwurst. Or no, not even hamburgers. It was all things on a hot dog bun. It was salsiccia, then bratwurst and hot dogs. That's it. I didn't get to use any skills. I just had to stand there.
Were you just like doggone it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like hiring.
Do you like flinging bread on Memorial Day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I do like flinging bread.
As we know. Thing, Steve?
That was a thing one year because I like winging it right off.
Year. Wasn't it 2020? We all did that. We flung bread.
Yeah. I like doing that right off my deck because I can almost get it to the lake if I fling it the right way. So.
I threw them down my stairs and my dog ate it.
Yeah. Lenny has sent us something. Okay.
I just invited you all to our.
We'll be there. We're all in there. And the Hoff is there. So yeah.
But you even have the flamingos and the lays. That's gonna be so fun.
But McNew, I think you could raise the level. And we even have spam, even though it's blurry. You can see it. Now, I don't know why that has anything to do with the Tiki Takeover, but it does.
Because people think spam, Hawaii, Tiki.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
David Hasselhoff. So.
Hasselhoff is there around, so yeah.
Spam and Hawaii makes me think of 50 First Dates when they have that scene in the diner and he's like, "You want spam and eggs?"
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah. He says, and then it's later. I love spam and Reese's.
Yeah, he's like, "What'd you have for breakfast?" "Just Reese's." "Oh, you want spam and Reese's?"
I love spam.
Interesting. I'm not watching the same movies as you guys, so I don't know.
No, 50 First Dates with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore.
No.
Classic.
Okay,
I like The Wedding Singer with Adam Sandler. That's good.
So I know always like Drew Barrymore. She's pretty hit or miss for me, but she was cute in that. I loved her in that.
She was cute. Okay.
Just.
Well, there you go. On that note, we're going to wrap this thing up. I mean, we got to let people get on to the Memorial Day. They have to get out there and they got a barbecue and do all
They
the
got a
things.
grill, they got a tiki,
They got a grill, they got a tiki. There's all kinds of stuff they're doing. They got to decorate for their pop-up bars and all that kind of stuff. So we'll talk about where people can find us. We're going to start with you, Evan. Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram at Wit Wisdom Whiskey, or you can find me on Thursdays hanging out at the ABV Barrel Shop for Thirsty Thursdays. Make sure you're stopping by between 11 and noon. Yeah,
it's a place to be for sure. Some of the best whiskey you can get right there in the ABV Barrel Shop. Lenny, how about you? Where can people find you?
Find me and the rest of Deerhammer on social media at Deerhammer, on the web at deerhammer.com, where you can also order our whiskey shipped to your door. And you can come visit us in beautiful Buena Vista, Colorado, and hop on the river with us. All right, McNew.
I'm on Instagram at McNew ABV.
For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. The important website, though, is abvnetwork.com. Check that one out. Everything that we do is out there. And please come by and see us, ABV Barrel Shop. We got a lot going on. We like to talk whiskey. We like to talk whiskey with you. At a minimum, sign up for our email and text distribution so you know what's going on at the shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the Hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.